It's not that different than many of them. 13 has been pretty common in the past.
12 islands is not a ton for a guy who plays with 4 Coral Helm Oh, he doesn't actually play. Yeah, he has 2 Coral Helm Commander, 4 Master of the Pearl Trident, 4 Lord of Atlantis.
And we see Mutavault activated and in. Take 2, Jamie. 10 turn clock, now down to 9. Says go. Josh Cho masquerading as land still here. And Jamie says go.
In this blue-white Miracle deck, 0 Wastelands.
A lot of these blue-white control decks have been choosing to not go that direction, just preferring to protect their own mana base. And for the most part, and he attacks for 2 again, Josh does. For the most part, that makes a lot of sense when you're playing against Rug, where unless you get super, super lucky, wastelanding them is playing into their hands.
So no red in the main deck. The Volcanic Island is just for sideboarded Pyroblasts, as well as the occasional third color of Engineered Explosives.
In for 2. At some point, we're going to see Josh with enough cards in his hand that Jamie is going to break the standstill just to try to minimize the value of the standstill advantage. Wasteland now on Volcanic Island. One of 2 Volcanic Islands in Jamie's deck.
Now, it's just an island for the purposes of this game. I mean, there are no red cards. But, and Cho knows this, but it is the only legal target besides the Flooded Strand, which would be ineffective.
Yeah. Now, Cho knows this, not because he's psychic, but because every the top 8 competitors are giving each other's deck lists in order to essentially not have somebody with a smartphone have a major advantage over everyone else if they don't happen to have that kind of technology.
So Jamie, debating on whether or not to brainstorm, decides he's going to crack his Flooded Strand first. Are we going to see another basic out of Jamie?
Let's find out.
Looks like a basic Plains.
Jamie's creature handling
he does
here,
decide to go with Tundra.
He's got 1 Engineered Explosives, 3 Terminus, 4 Swords to Plowshares, and then blocking with
as well as lots of counterspells.
Vendilion Click, Snapcaster Mage, and Entreat the Angels.
It is important to note, just because your opponent draws 3 cards from his standstill doesn't mean he's beating you. I mean, this Merfolk deck, most of the cards he's drawing are going to be creatures. So if you can stick a Terminus, you can undo all of that, and then some.
Brainstorm, do you work?
And how? You ever miss Mental Misstep?
Not really. Not really.
Dude, I think about Mental Misstep all the time.
You know, actually, there is a way that I missed it. I really, really liked it in bug-style control decks. I just didn't like what Mental Misstep did to the format.
Yeah. Mental Misstep's a little underrated. It used to, people in Vintage used to not even like it, but they're finally starting to come around. The ability to Mental Misstep people's Pyroblasts and Tutors and stuff.
And Josh Cho at the end of his own turn now, unless I miss my guess.
And I never do.
Wait a second. What's happening here?
Silvergill Adept reveals Lord of Atlantis.
When was this Brainstorm cast? Did he do it during Josh's second main phase?
This seems peculiar.
Yeah.
Maybe he must have taken a turn. I'm sure our people on the floor know, like, the sequence of how this happened. Did that Brainstorm take place? Yeah, because Jamie's mana's all untapped.
Yeah.
So they had
yeah, just passed. Went back to Josh.
Brainstorm was on second main. It seems really weird that that would be the case. It doesn't seem possible. But we're told that was a dubious, before you leave your second main phase, I'm going to cast Brainstorm.
And we see a Source to Plowshares being used with Snapcaster Mage to try to get rid of this Mutavault. And it works. More life for Cho. 24.
Do you suppose this is one of those circumstances where he says Brainstorm and Cho says win? He's like, what? Cho says, are you doing this
it's in response
in
to
my
the
second main phase?
It's in response to the Wasteland, according to Todd Anderson.
It's in response to the Wasteland.
He put the mana in his pool to use it.
Oh.
There we go. Thank you, Todd Anderson, at
Interesting.
strong_sad on Twitter. You can also reach all of us here at SCG Live on Twitter. Follow the conversation, hashtag SCGNY.
Dude, why isn't Strong Sad here?
You know, I'm not sure.
Dude, we miss you, Strong Sad. Back to the game at hand. Josh Cho, playing Merfolk, has 4 basic islands and a Silvergill Adept, as well as a Nether Vial. Is that on 2 now? Or just 1?
I cannot read that die in this light. It could be on...
I assume it's got to be on 1. Like, just temporally, right?
And there's another Mutavault.
Versus a Snapcaster Mage, a Sensei's Divine top and 4 land, including a Riptide Lab, which is threatening to get busy with a Snapcaster Mage.
Lord.
Good lord. Not as good as the other one, though.
Vial is on 1.
Our spotters on the floor have informed us that because the Ether Vial has been in play for 1 turn, Cho has managed to tick it up to 1.
There we go. Counterspell gets pierced, and we have a Lord. And does Silvergill get to come on in, have some fun? In for 3?
Jamie has decided to taste it.
And a standstill in Josh's hand. Into play.
This is going exactly according to plan for Mr. Cho.
Next turn, without anything else happening, Josh can swing for 7 power. Of course, 2 of it is blockable. And then there is a possibility of some shenanigans with that Aether Vial, making the math get a little bit messed up.
That's 8 on board, right?
3, 6, 8. 8, yeah, not 7.
And the finish that Cho needs in order to go back to the Chohawk?
Yeah, you know, that's...
Was that first, or was that top 4?
I believe he wanted to win it.
He wanted to win it.
Well, he obviously wanted to win
Would you
it.
settle for top 4? So, Jamie, debating among his options.
And Todd tells us he's not here because he wanted to PTQ, not qualified for Seattle. Thank you, Todd, for the update. Todd Anderson here, giving us that little bit of information we missed earlier, but also telling us why he ain't here.
Dude, the next time you're not going to be here because you're going to PTQ, you better win the PTQ.
Yeah,
We
follow
need you back
Cedric
on-
Phillips.
Do we need exactly? You can read about it in Cedric Phillips' articles in Star City Games, how to qualify for a Pro Tour.
It's true.
The man is actually living it, not just speaking it. Jamie Naylor. What's his game plan here? He's getting beat on a lot of different metrics.
I mean,
Cho
he
still has
wants to get a Terminus off, right? That's he's got to find a Terminus.
short-term solution, because he still has to deal with the Mutavault in a deck with no Wastelands, plus a Vial on 2 against an opponent who will have 5 cards in his hand from the standstill.
I mean, beggars can't be choosers. He's in a bad spot.
What he needs is Engineered Explosives
That's exciting.
and Academy Ruins to recurse it. Oh no, he doesn't even play Academy Ruins.
Wow. Okay, draw 3 cards. Does my counterbalance resolve?
Well, I mean, this is a start. Because Counterbalance is the type of card that could potentially help him beat everything, you know? Except Ether Vial.
Aether Vial is a scary little card right now.
Yeah.
And we have a master of the Pearl Trident in Josh Cho's hand from that standstill.
Historically, Counterbalance has not been the most effective strategy against Ether Vial.
There's something strange about that interaction, right? Like, you just can't really do anything to their Aether Vial stuff. So
It's strange the
sad.
same way that bricks and sheets of paper
Yeah,
interact.
exactly. Not very.
The bricks tear through the piece of paper completely as you would expect.
Strange is the wrong word.
Violent is perhaps
There
a better
we go.
word.
I like violent. I see a Force of Will, maybe even 2 Force of Wills in Josh Cho's hand.
That's weird. Could it have been from the 7 extra cards he drew from his Silvergill Adept and 2 standstills?
It's possible. That's a whole Gristlebrand's worth of cards. That's fine, says Josh.
That's nothing to Cho. He's a boss. Counterbalance lock? Do your worst.
Yeah, do something real over there. Come on, buddy.
This is the sound of me not caring about your... Is he going up to 3? Or no, he's up to 2 now.
Up to 2.
Yeah.
Master. Master. And
Master of the Pearl Trident. Game.
if the life totals, it looks like the life totals have changed. We see 11 now. So
It's still game, right? Like all the merfolk are unblockable?
3, 8, 11. It's 11 with the master.
The master.
Paching, master. On the nose.
So you got a Swords to Plowshares or a Terminus, bruh?
What do you got, Jamie? To the next?
At the very least, you could look. I mean, he's got a top. He could have a Terminus in his top 3 cards. He's actually not in that bad a shape if he has a Terminus in his top 3 cards, and Cho has no permission.
Terminus.
Even better, he's got 1 to pay for a daze.
Force targeting or tossing Reejerey.
See, this is why he was supposed to top in response.
And Jamie, he's like,
oh, still had all these.
Okay, so Josh Cho wins game 1. At home, you have an opportunity to play a different game, the trivia game.
Woohoo!
The winner of this round's trivia game will get 3 free months of Star City Games Premium.
And 2 points.
Next round's 6. And finally, in the finals, this happens after the end of every first game. 4 days of I can't even speak. 4 days of Gen Con pass.
You get a Gen Con badge.
Really good times.
It's worth the odd.
It is awesome. So, first one, quarterfinals. What you have to do is you have to make sure that you tweet the hashtag SCG Premium in your answer. One lucky person who gets the correct answer with that hashtag will win. I have a question.
What's your question?
My question is this. In this top 8, there is a deck that is using a exciting M13 original enchantment. What exciting M13 original enchantment is in this top 8? Tweet your answer to hashtag SCG Premium, and one lucky person can take care of 3 free months Star City Games Premium.
And get 2 points, redeemable for nothing.
That's true. That's true. So to the sideboards, what is Josh going to do here in order to, try to make this go even further for him? Spell Pierce?
Spell Pierce is a nice one.
Relic ×1, just because he's got room to do things?
No. Nope. Relic of Progenitus is not. I think it's Spell Pierce, just the 1 Spell Pierce, and maybe Kira Great Glass
There we
Spinner,
go.
possibly.
And he can get rid of 2 Dismembers if he likes.
Yeah. Yeah, I like getting rid of the thing. I mean, there are 2 Vendilion Clicks and 1 Baneslayer, and it'd be a real shame to lose to the Baneslayer, but I don't think that I don't think he's really in a position to worry about that much, you know?
And on the other side of the world, what is Jamie going to do?
Oh, although one thing he might do, I don't know if he would, but it's also possible that he might sneak a Phantasmal Image in there, because he is a filthmonger who is into doing unorthodox plays, and Phantasmal Image is the type of thing that lets you do the unorthodox regularly.
It is another Lord possibility.
Yes. Jamie, on the other hand, Jamie Naylor, is probably looking to board in his 3 Pyroblasts, 1 Baneslayer Angel, 1 Engineered Explosives, possibly the Disenchant, definitely the Terminus, probably Humility, definitely Peacekeeper, possibly Banishing Stroke.
What about, did you say Vendilion Clicks?
No, but it's possible. I mean, Vendilion Click can trade with things and, can let him know what kind of permission he's up against. I would not be surprised if we're looking at a 12 card, 13, 14. Is there any card he would not? I mean, he's not going to bring in the 3 Graveyard Hate.
Yep.
That much we believe, but.
And out, I think he can take out Flusterstorm. He might want to keep it in for fight. I don't know. Maybe he can. That's a hard one.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to want Flusterstorm.
Yeah, I mean, Jace is a slow one in this matchup.
Jace is a slow one in this matchup.
Do you like it? I'm not sure.
I think you need it because I think you have to actually have a way to get ahead of him on cards.
Okay.
I think you don't necessarily need. I'm not even sure you want these Vendilion Clicks. I think the Vendilion Clicks are probably too slow in the wrong way. I think he'd have more experience, but I could imagine the counterbalance not even being good enough.
Yeah, if you get that out and the Aether Vial's already in play.
I like cutting Scroll Rack. It's a little slow.
Scroll Rack is quite slow. Great, but slow.
Yeah, and I think he has to turn into this weird sort of blue-white deck that tries to lock up the game with just Terminuses and Humility and get ahead with Jace the Mind Sculptor. He actually might not even want Force of Will, as funny as that is. This is another deck that it's possible he wants Force of Will because he wants to go after Vial or whatever, but at the end of the day, Force of Willing a Vial turns Vial into a 2-mana hand to rock.
Right.
I actually think he probably just, like, none of Cho's cards are actually that important. I actually think you might just take out all 4 Force of Wills. Seriously, all 4.
The thing that you can do with that, too, is if you go in that direction, you can basically just keep on using your removal spells as quasi-threats against Cho, and try to run Cho out of resources.
Plus, if the more counterspells you take out, the more you don't care about Vial.
This is true.
I'm saying, like, so much of this stuff, take it out. Just play like a board control deck. Just play lots and lots of removal, you know? Lots of removal and the card draw. Jace the Mind Sculptor, key for this plan, because his only other card draw, I mean, he's got a couple 2-for-1s, but for the most part, he's just going to be sitting here hanging out, trying to get ahead from the Miracles. But if any of the Miracles stick, they're going to be often game-winning.
Josh.
Either way, I think that Jamie's chances improve tremendously after sideboarding, because game 1 is kind of a nightmare. I like Jamie's chances in game 2, but I like Cho to win the match.
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with Cho likely the victor here. And Josh Cho here, giving a good shuffle to Jamie's deck, and vice versa.
Josh not playing the same mono blue deck as Jerry today, although both playing mono blue.
For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan with Patrick Chapin. This is the Star City Games Live Open Series. It's Legacy, the quarterfinals. 216 people have spent 8 rounds being whittled down to 8. Here are 2 of them. Josh Cho with Merfolk, Jamie Naylor with Miracles.
Both players, it looks like, content to keep their opening hands. Jamie leads off. The turn 1 Volcanic Island, a much different card in the second game because of his Pyroblasts out of the sideboard.
Aether Vial, does it work?
Now, one of the strengths
Yes.
of Pyroblast is they can help him win the counter wars, but it can also kill the Merfolk even through a Vial.
And up to 1 with the Aether Vial. Josh Cho, the critical 2-mana mark where almost all of his deck turns on, lays one of his many lords.
I love how fast he passed priority there.
This resolves, obviously.
Yeah, let's go. Your turn. Come on, man. Dude, I already said I'm done. Pyroblast, the Lord of Atlantis. Alright, fine. It's nothing to me. I don't care. Whatever.
Josh Cho running 14 lords in his deck. That's a few.
8 of the 2-drop Lord of Atlantis and Master, plus the full set of Regeries and a couple Coral Home Commanders. Seems like that's the one that has been pushed out a little bit. I mean, we knew that Master of the Pearl Trident was going to make space a real tight, real short commodity here in Merfolk. Coral Home Commander, a little more expensive than the other ones to operate.
Force of Will in Josh's hand. ×2. Days as well.
Things going swimmingly for Naylor against the fish with plenty of mana, all of his colors, several cards in hand, a reasonable mixture, and an opponent with no pressure on the table.
And Lord. Untap.
I think a lot of people don't realize Force of Will is sort of like Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt, completely awesome card, no question. No, you're never gonna have to explain why you want to play Lightning Bolts in your deck, but you board out Lightning Bolt all the time. There's plenty of matchups where Lightning Bolt is not good.
That's true.
Know? Force of Will, same way.
Activate Mutavault in for 5. Another island. Yeah, I mean, There are many times where the correct thing to do is Force of Will tossing a Force of Will. Why? Because you just don't want to cast Force of Will again.
Yes, you really want to do that. It's not the first Lightning, it's the second one. So Jamie, looking for a Tundra. What is he up to? One of the dangerous things about these Merfolk decks is just how fast they can put pressure on you. Here, he went from nothing on your, nothing during your turn to vialing down the Lord of Atlantis, and suddenly he's hitting for 5 already.
And that's with Josh actively. Oh, here's a Jace. Going to be a fight over this one, I bet. Spell Pierce.
I mean,
Force of Will tossing Lord. Pyro. Daze. 1 mana in pool. Daze. And the chain unravels. Back to the, oh lord. 3, 6, 10 damage.
now Jamie does have a Terminus in his hand.
Take 10, go to 4. Yikes.
However, even if he has a land, he still has to deal with that Mutavault. Cho down to 1 card in hand.
Tap out Terminus.
Hopefully you don't have a Daze.
Boink.
Alright,
Goodbye, Lords.
puts the Lords of Atlantis on the bottom of the deck. Hopefully Cho also does not have a 2-drop for Jamie's sake. Does not. Hopefully Cho does not draw anything relevant for Jamie's sake.
Down to 2.
Hopefully Jamie draws a removal spell right now for
And
Jamie's sake.
Josh has a land in hand as well. There's another card with it, but one of those cards in his hand is a land. Jace probably activating a Brainstorm ability here.
Gotta find an answer to that. Gotta find an answer to that Mutavault ASAP.
He's got a Terminus in his hand.
If he's got a Terminus in his hand, a Brainstorm will do it, because he can Terminus at instant speed.
What was there? Can't tell. No matter how much you crane your neck, it's still a 2D screen, isn't it? 2 cards back on top.
No, just tilt it a little further.
How much further? Do I got it yet?
Just keep going. When you got it, you'll see.
Do I got it?
Do you see?
Nope.
Then keep going.
Okay. Ooh, swords in hand. And a land in case there's a Spell Pierce from Josh Cho. Ooh, the Jace could just take over here if Josh doesn't do something exciting. Land. Activate. Attack. Swords. And here's the big fight. Oh, no
showdown.
fight to be had.
So Jamie.
An unanswered Jace on the table. However, Aether Vial means at end of turn, Josh could just drop down a creature that'll kill Jamie.
Jamie is far from out of the woods, but he is starting to actually take control of this game.
Brainstorm every turn. A good ability. Back in my day, we had to spend 2 mana to do that.
2 mana?
Yeah, do it every turn. Scroll rack. Okay, what's happening?
It has been pointed out that Jace is not Ancestral Recall, and before you play your Scroll Rack, you're going to have to put 2 cards back.
God, Jace cast Ancestral. I've seen that card.
I've seen Jace cast Ancestral with some of the people who have played it.
Oh no, I mean the the fan modded for crazy cubes of Jace casting Ancestral. Seems a little good.
You seem a little good.
Thank you. Scroll Rack. It's a classic favorite.
Classic.
I've seen you use a Scroll Rack in your day.
In my day, dude, my day is perpetually, and I'm Scroll Racking all of the time.
Josh, nothing at end of turn.
Why would he? That would take all the drama out of the game.
And Jamie. Terminus in hand, Force of Will in hand. Activates Jace to draw cards.
So at this point, Jamie's just looking for more and more layers of protection, right?
Yeah.
He wants instant speed removal, and would settle for some permission, but mostly wants instant speed removal. It'd make him feel a lot more comfortable if he could explosives or disenchant or banishing stroke that vial. Be done with the whole thing.
Oh, Mutavault.
Mutavault. Not the easiest threat to deal with.
2 life. So much less than 3 life in this matchup.
So much less than 3.
I think I see Counter Spell in Jamie's hand as well. Force of Will, Counter Spell. Not sure what else we got here. Brainstorm. Go ahead. Feel free. Be my guest. Pyroblast. Terminus. Does he have a swords there? I see a Tundra. Is that a Snapcaster? Snapcaster will be sufficient.
Snapcaster against no resistance.
What does that scroll rack do?
Doesn't count as drawing. This is what Cho was wondering about.
Activate.
Do you like to party? Cho does.
Show enough. Brainstorm.
I bet he draws a Terminus.
Go ahead. You have to do the brainstorm first. Let's just make sure that that's been revealed. Two cards back. Terminus. Ooh, hard cast Force of Will. Pyroblast in hand, 1 card in hand. Hard cast Force of Will back. And Mutavault to the bottom.
It is really hard to power through a Jace the Mind Sculptor. A little too hard.
Counterspell, Pyroblast in hand. That Pyroblast protects Jamie from any potential merfolk threat. And he goes to Jace as Fate Seal. Is this the time to do it? Does he have enough just to not be brainstorming again and again? Aether Vial. Kind of a almost non-draw.
I mean, as long as he's got a counterspell in his hand.
Looks again. Feel free, keep it.
It's a little weird to be going after Cho just because of, like, what could Cho even be drawing? Like, if you don't have the answers to like, Cho's only got like 2 types of cards. And if you don't have the answers to the one that can kill you, then you should be looking for him. And if you do, then, I mean, are you going to not put him on the bottom, or are you going to put him on the bottom? Like, what are you even going to put on the bottom? I always like the Jason myself, just to get fresh looks, particularly if I'm racking. Racks on racks on racks.
Scroll rack. Goodbye.
It does look like Jamie has enough permission in his hand, though, that he can just keep Fate Sealing Cho and keep the game locked up.
He's getting, look at 4 cards here. That's all of them.
Yeah.
Swords, land, something. Yikes.
Dude,
I think.
Why doesn't Cho just surprise him with a Sonic Blast?
I was thinking about Kira.
Particularly if he vials it down.
Right?
You may need to just tick these vials up so that Jamie doesn't see it coming. You know, put 1 at 2, 1 at 3, and just hang out and wait and draw your Kira.
Wait. And you know, I would be unsurprised if there's a Kira. I wouldn't necessarily have brought one in myself, but it's a reasonable choice against a deck that's going to be potentially point and clicking at you. Nine counters on Jace. It's almost there. Back to you. 3. Or 2, 3. Draw. Go. Pyro. Swords. Force away. Draw. Jamie Naylor. Scroll racks. Gets rid of 2 cards.
This time he likes what he's working with and wants to just hang on to it. I will tell you, man.
Ticks things up.
I may miss Lost, but I really miss Jace the Mind Sculptor.
For those of you who are just joining us, this is the quarterfinal match in this Legacy tournament. I'm Adrian Sullivan, joined by Patrick Sullivan.
No. Patrick Sullivan.
Oh my God, Patrick Chapin.
The Rainmaker.
Sorry, Patrick Chapin.
A true inspiration to me, but
my
not
goodness.
Me. All right, Josh Cho. It looks like it's going to take him a third game because another attempt, and this match has gotten so much worse after sideboarding. It's not even clear that now that it's not 1-1 yet, but when it becomes 1-1, it's not even clear that Cho is going to be a favorite.
A word from the floor. Kenny Castor defeats Scott Abramowski. Rug over. I'm sorry, I've got that backwards. That is Rug over Dredge. That's Morgan McLaughlin versus Dan Walton.
2-0.
And Kenny and Scott are in game 3. Sorry about that. And looks like Tom Williams has defeated Travis Allen.
Dude, how is this even reasonable? Brainstorm is the best card in this format, and he's doing it every turn.
There is a large number of counters here on Jace. Is it ready?
I'm in.
Whoosh. And Josh
picks up his cards. Does he know that you can keep the ones in play? It's just all the ones in your deck are gone.
That's a lot of card advantage.
It's not really card advantage if it's coming out of your library.
I know. It's
no. See,
the hand part though is nice.
It's the thing about card advantage is.
Go on.
It's all about Zach Hill. A lot of people don't realize that about card advantage. It's all about Zach Hill. And interactions, but mostly Zach Hill. Alright. Going back to the board, I am imagining that neither player is going to really do too much different. They might both go through the actions. The biggest question, if anything, is if Naylor wants more stuff like Spell Pierce when he's on the draw, because of the ability to do stuff like Spell Pierce a standstill. Now, he can't Spell Pierce another Vial when he's on the draw. But
worth noting, remember, this is a game that Jamie broke the standstill, right?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was the first game?
That was the first game.
Oh, this game took so long. I thought it was the same game.
Nope. No.
Fair enough.
Although Cho definitely leading with Vials. You know, the Vial helping a lot.
I see Nick Spagnolo in the background there.
That svelte young man. Is he's trying to catch a glance? Looks like he's rolling out.
Oh, nope. Coming back. On the right here, Josh Cho, you can see his sideboard. What would you sideboard in this matchup? Give us a tweet at SCG Live. What do you think you would sideboard in? On the left, Jamie Naylor. Again, you can see their sideboard. What would you sideboard in?
What would you not sideboard in?
Oh, for Jamie Naylor. It might be simpler with 140 characters to go with what would you not sideboard in for Jamie. Let us know at SCG Live.
We're doing some trivia or something?
Oh yeah, there's a trivia. It's still underway. We gotta wait for this match to be over though.
Yeah, absolutely. Has everybody already tweeted back in with the answer?
Well, we've got a lot of tweets out there. But we gotta wait for.
Dude, what's to stop people from like net decking their answers?
That's okay. That's the nature of the beast.
The fact that you just don't know if people are right or not?
We have a victor here. Kenny Castor wins with Rug over Sneak and Show.
Alright.
That means that we're going to have a Maverick versus Rug semifinals.
That's fortunate for Maverick. It means the Maverick deck defeated the Omniscience deck, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
No, right? Like every time a Maverick deck defeats an unfair deck, it makes me die a little inside.
And Jamie Naylor here, getting his hand. Josh as well. Josh on the play here in this critical game 3. And Sammy B, that's Ravager Sam, says, I would sideboard in Pat Chapin. Well, Patrick, how would you be used in this matchup?
Effectively.
Effectively, that sounds reasonable.
Besides, can't board me in. You either have Jace in the main deck or you don't. Neither of these places have Jace in the sideboard.
Turn 1 Aether Vial from Josh Cho. Force of Will, taking away a counterspell.
See, that's what I'm saying. If you go this route, I mean, yes, you could randomly win the game this way, but you're gonna run out of cards.
Another Force of Will. In his hand, he's ready to be lightninged again. Volcanic Island. Turn 2 for Cho. Go.
Wow.
Oh.
Well, you know, scoreboard. So I guess Force of Will once again pulling its weight.
Go. And Josh Cho stuck on 1 land here in his 2-mana deck.
Look, you can't walk around playing with 12 islands in your deck that needs double blue and think he's not even playing Brainstorm. This is like anybody who plays Standard knows you got to play 14 blue mana if you want to cast your Cancel or your Dissipate or whatever. This is just straight up Legacy greed.
Hey, this is a format about greed.
Yeah, although to be fair, I guess Aether Vial is like sources 13 through 16 of blue.
And untap, upkeep, draw. He wants this card, doesn't want to shuffle it away. Terminus in hand, Counterspell in hand, Force of Will in hand. A very late Silvergill Adept.
You know, better late than never.
And it looks like it's going to work with Mutavault to help cast it. Maybe. It's still on the stack.
Is Cho gonna have to discard now? If this resolves?
Nah. Jamie thinking about it. And it works. Jamie trying to decide if he wants to...
making it very clear that he has a Swords to Plowshares, but has to decide whether or not if he's going to use it.
Away he goes. This one? You sure? You okay? Are you sure? Okay. I guess if you want to do that.
If that's your bag.
Tyndall Dudley asks if the P. Chapin is Jace the Mind Sculptor with Ancestral instead of Brainstorm.
No. Next question.
You have your answer, Tineman D. Tinman D. Untap here for Josh Cho after Jamie lays a 4th land.
A lot of people don't know this, but
Standstill.
they've held the invitationals in secret every year since they stopped holding them in public. Jace was my invitational card.
Unsure if it's true? Ask the people at Wizards of the Coast. See what they say.
Yes. Write to Aaron. Tweet at Aaron Forsyth, A Forsyth, and ask him: are these rumors true? These unsubstantiated rumors. You got to tell me you see the resemblance.
I've seen you wear a hoodie.
Yeah, dude, I was wearing a hoodie before Jace was.
Yeah.
All right, Snapcaster Mage.
In response, this is going to put a body on the table for Jamie in response to this standstill. Ouch. And is he going to cast a Brainstorm here too?
Surely.
Force of Will. Take that.
Taste it.
Tiago. Terminus, Force of Will, and I don't know in Jamie's hand. And Force of Will works. And the Standstill works.
Michael Flores' invitational card has definitely proven itself a winner in tournament play.
And he passes back. Looks like an island for Josh Cho drawn just now. Island, activate, attack with Mutavault. 10 turn clock.
Cho's patience paying off.
Brainstorm.
Jamie with absolutely no. We saw Jamie's head first, you know, like check the bushes with your face mentality against Reed when it came to land tax, and it paid off there.
3 cards.
It'll be interesting to see if this brainstorm is worth the ancestral recall it's giving Cho right now. But it may just be that because Cho's gonna have to discard, he's like, let's just do this. Let's do this now.
That's the way to break a standstill. All the berries. Anthony Dominguez asks, Chapin, will you sign my 1 with nothing?
It's possible.
You've got to come here with a 1 with nothing at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly can't commit to doing it long distance, but, you know, who knows what the future holds. We're all young. Jamie Naylor, deciding what to put back. I'm seeing him as the type of guy who might actually shuffle soon. He wants some fresh looks. He's got some good cards in his deck that he's looking for. Mostly Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Feel free to discard, he says. And it looks, I can't tell, is that a Marrow Reejery that was discarded? It's a lot of glare. Something. 1 card discarded.
Was it a Master of the Pearl Trident?
Could well be.
Jamie continuing to develop his mana base. It's times like this when I see wonky mana bases that I think, you know, what would Brian DeMars do? I got a feeling what Brian DeMars would do is stick a Crucible of Worlds and a couple of Wastelands into both of these decks. Cho already has the Wasteland, so he's already halfway there. Seriously, what do you want to bet that Brian DeMars shows up with Merfolk with Crucible of Worlds soon? It's totally in his range.
Do you have the inside scoop on this, or what?
No, I have no idea. I just know that, you know, some men have a hunger for land destruction. The land death, as Conley Woods would say.
And counterbalance. Let's give it a go. Cho says okay.
Counterbalance certainly much more effective with that Ether Vial off the table. So, hey, there you go. Tweet at us. Fear Jamie. Do you keep your counterbalances in Force of Wills? Or do you keep some other stuff instead?
Second Mutavault.
So what does Cho do about Peacekeeper? Just out of curiosity.
Lord of Atlantis.
I know he doesn't Lord of Atlantis.
And we see a fetch from Jamie. Kira the Great Glass Spinner in Josh Cho's hand.
It's going to be a very fetching turn.
This is the quarterfinals of the Star City Games Live Open Series.
Here in Buffalo.
Yep, that's right. First time we've been in New York State.
Woo-hoo!
And Empire State. And we're going to see the naked flip of a Tundra failing to stop Lord of Atlantis.
Did you say that was some naked failure right there?
You could say that. In for 3.
And out of nowhere, Jamie is on a 2-turn clock.
Crazy, right?
Dude, these Merfolk decks are very aggressive.
8-turn clock, 2-turn clock. Seems like there were some turns in there that got missing. Fetch, getting rid of that land on top of Jamie's deck.
Jamie fetching his 5th land. He now has 2 Volcanics, 2 Tundras, and a Mystic Gate to go along with his counterbalance and a couple of cards in the Golgari Grip. Josh Cho, 2 Mutavaults, 2 Islands, a Lord of Atlantis, and oodles of cards as well.
Jamie draws. Thinks. Josh prepares to bottom the Lord, or at least pantomimes that he will. Oof.
Jamie in the tank about this. He's going to need an answer to those 2 Mutavaults as well. Is the Terminus on top of his deck the answer to the 2 Mutavaults?
Is it even a Terminus? Is it a long-form bluff on an island?
This is a hell of a long-form bluff if this is a long-form bluff.
Oh, he hides the card from us. What was it?
The world may never know. Is that an Entreat the Angels?
It looks like it could be.
Then that may have been the card. Enhance. Enhance. I think we may have to download another copy of the GUI mainframe here.
Humility. Wow.
Humility, not the best weapon against Mutavault.
That crazy layering.
Not the worst, but not the best. Back to a 3-turn clock. Since the Mutavaults will be 2/2s, they will still be 2/2 because of their own ability. However, the Lord of Atlantis isn't pumping them anymore. The Lord of Atlantis, on the other hand, will be a 1/1 humble fella. But my goodness, is that Melissa Benson artwork divine.
I really do actually like Humility's art.
Ah, yeah, Humility's sweet too.
What were you talking about? I don't actually know
Melissa
the artist.
Benson on Lord of Atlantis.
Ah, gotcha. I like that one as well.
Absolutely.
Is Folio the Humility art?
Yeah.
Two Mutavaults. Come on in. 1 + 2 + 2. The Mutavault's ability is ignoring Humility.
Those are some not very humble Mutavaults.
Jamie draws. Puts it into his hand. Now, one of the things that is important to note, the Lord of Atlantis being humble means that Mutavaults can be blocked by angels.
Yep. And Entreat the Angels for 2 right here stabilizes. And potentially, yeah, 7 mana with Mystic Gate.
Right? They're 1/1s though. That's unfortunate.
Still, is that enough? Like, I mean, I guess it doesn't completely shut it down.
Jace.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is an expensive brainstorm. Well, it's a brainstorm plus 5 life.
Is it 5 life or just 3?
Just 3 currently.
Because you might as well just send 3 at Jace and 2 at Jamie, because it's still putting them on the same amount of clock.
Yeah. So long as nothing goes wrong, it'll be the way it works, but...
However, if Jamie is able to put that Terminus, you remember Jamie was tanking for a while on that one. He's going to be selling it pretty strong that there's a Terminus on top of his deck. What do you think the chances are that Cho only attacks with 1 Mutavault, just 1 Mutavault and the Lord of Atlantis, and just goes after the Jace?
It's a possibility.
He doesn't know that Jamie has a brainstorm. We don't know that Jamie has a brainstorm. The amount that we can outthink ourselves is tremendous.
You bested my giant.
So clearly you're a strong man.
But you also defeated my Spaniard.
I'm assuming that means you're cunning?
You must have learned that man is mortal. Okay, Lord. That's a 1/1 Lord. Mutavaults that can become 2/2s through those humilities. A Jace at 3, 7 life. What do you do here? There's a possibility of a Terminus in the mix. Jamie Naylor takes off his glasses. Josh Cho has a lot to think about here.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure how much I love humility in this matchup. I mean,
And he's
my first reaction
look
would
at
have
the Josh smiling. What you got, buddy?
Josh, absolutely no regard whatsoever for his own personal safety. He's like those Russian guys that like will be in shopping carts and go down a ramp, jump
Wow.
it, hit a tree, or be standing inside of a building that they knock down with demolition.
Josh goes all in on Jamie and then says, go, discards Akira.
So Jamie now has his back completely against the wall. What do you think about this? All 5 damage going to Jamie's face instead of split between Jace and the face.
Well, I know I probably wouldn't have done it, but that doesn't mean that I would have done it right.
So there is Entreat the Angels for 5. Sure wish that Jace was dead. Is this just an Entreat for 2?
Looks like an Entreat for 2.
I guess it could have been an Entreat for 4, not 5, but either way, an Entreat for 2 is an interesting question. What is he doing?
Angel, angel.
I mean, it is the minimum. He could chump block both Mutavolts and live. So there's that. But he's certainly threatening to do something with all that mana.
Brainstorm. This is that moment I actually really love when I'm playing a Jace deck. When my back's against the wall and I've got to figure out a way to claw myself through whatever my opponent has.
I wonder what he could be doing with that 2 mana that's better than making 2 more Angels. Even though they're 1/1s, if he just has 2 Angels block each of the 2 Mutavolts, now he takes 1 and he's not in that bad a shape. I mean, he could even Jace it.
Lays a land. Wow.
We're going to see
Is he
a Vendil.
tapping out? Just thinking about it. Go. Okay. That was exciting.
So Jamie very clearly telegraphing Vendilion Click, but whether or not he has it remains to be seen.
Josh not even bothering to pretend he has a miracle. Oh, his opponent knows there are no miracles in Josh's deck. Okay.
So if you're Josh, what do? Do you just continue to swing? I mean, like...
I mean, this is the potential for the all-in moment. Do you want to actually do it, though?
Why did Jamie not spend more mana? It's a question anybody who's ever met Jamie Park has probably asked himself at one point or another.
Josh activates all-in. Here he comes. 2-2, 2-2, 1-1 versus a pair of 1-1s. Oh, humility. Wow. And Josh calls. Jamie goes down to 1. Man, some more angels would be nice. Discards a Regery.
Card advantage, bro. Card advantage.
21-1.
And it looks like that's a Peacekeeper. Stymied by the humility.
Oh, boy.
So that's what I'm thinking. With Baneslayer Angel, Snapcaster Mage, Vendilion Click, Peacekeeper,
Terminus off the top.
Entreat the Angels.
That's a miracle. Now what are you going to do about those Mutavaults?
Well, Peacekeeper can block one of them.
This is true.
But if he had just made 2 more tokens.
Brainstorm.
All right, Brainstorms. Looking to find another answer besides the Peacekeeper in his hand. Engine Explosives. He can't quite get it up to 4 to get rid of his humility.
Oh, boy. Force of Wills are
more cards
basically
that don't
dead.
do anything.
He's got
Yeah.
1 life. Josh Cho, perhaps pushing through humility, Jace, counterbalance on the backs of 2 Mutavaults. top.
What is Jamie's plan to live through the turn?
Brainstorm for 1 deeper.
Look for that third card down. I like it. It's pretty gangsta.
Maybe there's a Swords to Plowshares in there. Oh, we know those ones. Okay, what about this one?
This is the sweet one right there.
Ooh. Land. It's a Tundra. Is that a handshake? A hearty handshake and a congratulations?
So I think the play there was to get excited and accidentally drop the Brainstorm from your hand, but pick it back up and not play it.
Peacekeeper, and then...
Oh, he sets the Volcanic and the Tundra near it. He's not able to pay, but...
He's just saying, I've got a Peacekeeper. Maybe you don't want to attack. Unfortunately for him...
Pretty sure this isn't Cho's first rodeo.
Much like how the Lord of Atlantis was not affected by... There we go. He sees humility. Humility turns off the Lord of Atlantis. Humility turns off the Peacekeeper. And Josh Cho wins.
Josh Cho defeating Jamie Naylor with Merfolk over Blue White Miracles.
Yeah. Now
advancing to the semifinals.
We have another winner out there for our premium giveaway. Remember, during the quarterfinals, we give away 3 months.
Yep.
During the semifinals, we give away 6 months of Star City Games Premium. And the question that was asked is, what M13 only enchantment, just recently printed, was featured in this top 8? What was it?
It was Omniscience?
You've got it right. How did you know?
Because Kyle 2 Plowshares shared with us the answer.
That's right. Thank you, Kyle. At Kyle 2 Plowshares. Make sure you follow at SCG Live so that we can be able to give you your 3 free months of Star City Games Premium. Now we're on to a top 4. It is going to be Morgan McLaughlin with Rug Delver versus Josh Cho with Merfolk. And on the other side of the world, it's going to be Tom Williams with Maverick versus Kenny Castor with Rug.
It's always interesting. We see so many different decks in the top 8 before we eventually give the prize to the Maverick or Rug player. You know,
I don't know.
Josh Cho could mix it up. He's definitely the most experienced veteran on the pro circuit among these players.
Well, the last time that we were sitting together in Detroit, was it Lance? Was it Lance that took it, or was it Mud?
Prefer not to think about it.
I know that turn 1 Chalice for 1. Oof.
Turn 1 Chalice for 1. How many cards do you have in your deck that don't cost 1? Oh, 22? That's cute. That's a lot. Oh, you're saying 18 of them are land.
Right. And Tyler seems pretty excited. Congratulations, Tyler. And we're going to get over to that match, our semifinal matches, as soon as we have them